see we've got Richard, and I'm sure Spencer is just a minute away. So I'm going to read a little bit about Equiam if you don't know about them. Richard, are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, we lost Richard for a second.
Bethany, how are you?
Hi there, Richard. How's everything?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. While we get Spencer on board, let me read a little bit about Equiam.
Yeah.
So Equiam is a global leader in tenant experience, founded in 2011. Equiam pioneered tenant experience technology in CRE. It is the most experienced player in the market. It also has the most widely adopted platform with 175,000 users from 9,000 companies across US, UK, Ireland, and Australia. Today, we have Equiam's EVP of Business Development, Richard Morale, and we will be joined by Head of Engagement, United States, Spencer Beamat, who they're going to tell us a little bit about Equiam, and then they're going to show us.
Yeah, and I can just see Spencer joining now.
Hi, Spencer, yeah. We're a little ahead of schedule, Spencer, sorry.
You're on mute still, Spence.
Not a problem.
All right, guys, take it away.
Yeah, so Bethany's just given us an intro, Spence. If you wouldn't mind just pulling up and presenting the deck. Bethany, great to be here. We're thrilled to be involved as always. What we're going to do today is just give you a brief overview of Equiam in a presentation deck. I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to set the scene. What we'd really like to do is actually take everyone through our platform live. You know, we're a little short for time compared to what we would normally do in this environment. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a backdrop of where we've come from and what our focus in the industry is on. And then Spencer's going to take you through a live demo of as much as we can squeeze in a 25-minute window. So, you know, as you mentioned, Bethany, in your intro, we were founded back in 2011. We lead the tenant experience landscape. We're actually founded by a commercial landlord and owner and operator of a 1 million square foot tower who way back in 2011 thought there was a different way to, you know, run a building and to engage with all of the tenants and occupants and retailers and service providers in a building and create this sort of thriving, you know, ecosystem within commercial real estate. And that was an exceptionally successful project. And we decided to, you know, launch that platform with a bunch of, you know, major landlords in the Australian real estate sector and then globally. So, you know, we were started by somebody who truly understood the value and proposition of, you know, owning and operating an asset. And that's very much to our core. So, you know, nowadays we've got offices in the US, Australia, and the United Kingdom. In the US, we've got our headquarters in Manhattan, and I'm over in Los Angeles. We've got some other team members dotted throughout the country. We're really deep and sophisticated functionality. We've been doing this for 9 years now. So 175,000 users, 9,000 companies using the platform, about 250 buildings and more than 50 landlords, obviously looking at the numbers, you know, some of those are a whole of portfolio, and a really, you know, sophisticated model around how we drive a thriving building, and not just in the areas of tenant engagement where we came at this many, many years ago and where we really lead the industry in delivering results, but a really innovative kind of product suite and stack and roadmap driven by data and driven by our clients. So, you know, not surprising, over 9 years, the platform and our services has evolved, you know, dramatically, particularly throughout the last, you know, 6 or 7 months of COVID. Spence, if you just want to click to the next slide. So, you know, the marketplace, and I'm sure most people that are watching today would be aware of this, but the marketplace, you know, certainly in tenant experience is driven by, you know, 4 sort of key pillars. It's around creating an enhanced community and communications platform within a building so that we can get as much data and understanding about what it is that tenants want in our buildings and how we can really drive our asset management and leasing and retention strategies in accordance. By virtue of an engaged community and platform, a landlord is able to really drive their amenities, the productivity, the promotion of them, understanding what it is that tenants want in those amenities, how to drive those services, not only what sort of partnerships to create, but how to drive the usage of those through technology, right? Through an app and a desktop platform. We've really pivoted, you know, extensively over the last few years to focus on a lot more building operations. So whether that be, you know, access control into a building being delivered virtually or digitally through an app, you know, conference room booking systems, book your arrival throughout COVID into a gym in a staggered environment, or reserving a freight elevator for a move-in. Density controls, population density, and HVAC controls. So operationally, the industry is really moving, and Equiem is at the forefront of that. And then I really want to pins all of this. The whole reason for being in this space is to drive a much richer data set on all of your occupants. So for those landlords out there that have heard this time and time again, all of the bells and whistles and the modules of tenant experience, what it all really boils down to is gathering really rich and actionable data into your occupants, so that you can drive a retention and a leasing strategy and an asset management strategy in line with what those tenants are after. And ultimately, what that's doing is increasing the operating value of the asset. So we start with a core platform within Equiem, and we're just giving you a really lightweight overview here, but it's mobile and desktop based. It's all driven by data, custom branded. Spencer's going to give you some interesting highlights into mobile and desktop, but just notionally, what's been fascinating throughout COVID is that pre the pandemic, we've seen about a 50-50 split across 175,000 users between desktop and app, and there's been a staggering trend towards desktop, with about 90% usage being done while we're sitting here in our home offices, using our computers more than our app. So having both is a really critical layer for this as well. Out of the gates, you get a content management platform. Just go back for 1 second, Spence. There's the content management platform, which helps you curate all of your events, a custom building information tab with everything that's happening within your building and all of the different layers that a tenant would be looking for. Data and analytics we've touched on. An e-commerce platform to really drive the end user experience, to have everything at their fingertips within the asset, but also to help support those retailers, both within a building, but many times within a nearby precinct or a nearby radius of a commercial asset, to create this sort of thriving marketplace for an office building. And then other layers like bookings and subscriptions and tickets and deals and offers. So that's kind of the core platform. And just really briefly on our next slide, we'll take you through how we think a little bit about building out the functionality more from an operational standpoint. We've touched on access control, visitor management. We've got several partnerships in place with amazing other providers in the prop tech space. We've recently launched Smart by Equiem, which is a smart building platform delivered through a partnership with an amazing company that we've partnered with out of London called Metricus. And then building operations, we've got our own platform for works requests, but we also work with groups like Building Engines and Angus and others, help desk and document management. So you're starting to see this trend of all of these layers of what's happening within a building being provided within one platform, and then extend that out to other services. We've got a beautiful space booking platform, but we also work with others in the market that have those. So from a building standpoint, we can really create a modular layer to tenant experience, depending on what other systems and software they have in a building versus some that they don't, and then build that in a really strategic way for each and every asset. So now I'm going to hand over to Spence, who's going to take you through more of a live demo of the platform. And if we've got a little bit of time for questions at the end, we'll certainly take them. But you're going to see what it looks like on the front end for the tenants on both desktop and app, as well as a sneak peek into our back end content management and data and analytics systems as well. So over to you, Spence.
Thanks, Rich. So we're going to dive right into the mobile app, and we'll look at a live demo of what this can look like for a building. As you can see, it's fully white labeled. Both the desktop and the mobile app are white labeled to the asset. When you first log in, you're going to see as a tenant an easy search bar option where you can jump in and you can highlight any specific functionality, services, amenities that you'd like your tenants to have at their fingertips. They can also search through all the content that's on the platform and gain access to those unique amenities that are specific to your site. So that is the first thing that you're going to see at the top. And then you're going to jump into the featured content. And this is where we can start to highlight any of those pieces of functionality that Rich had started to talk about, whether it's registering a guest or booking a meeting space. We've recently started digitizing reentry videos for all of our clients. So that this could be your reentry policies to encourage tenants to come back to your building. It could be those locker or bike room subscriptions or real-time transit info around your building. So we have all of this featured functionality that's going to live right at the top of your application here for tenants. And this is, again, very customized to the asset. Our entire platform is very modular so that we can really build the platform to be unique to your building. Then you're going to jump down into the news section where you're going to find everything that's happening in and around the building, including things like LEED certifications, introductions to your on-site team, any renovations that may be taking place in the building. So all this is going to live within the news section. And this is all going to be curated on the back end through our content management system, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Then you're going to have access as a tenant to all the events that are happening within the building or in the nearby area. So really leveraging the unique programming that's happening in the building. As part of our engaged services, Equiam partners with the on-site team to look at a full year's worth of programming so that we're taking that budget that's traditionally spent on maybe a community happy hour or a building holiday event and really applying data and analytics and tenant feedback to that spend so that we can really optimize your event programming for your tenants' actual needs and wants and based on the data we're seeing in the back end. So tenants can jump in here, RSVP to events. Those will be added to their calendar. They'll get an email saying they're RSVP to that event, and that data is fed into our backend system. Then as a user, you're going to actually be able to reorder any products that you've ordered through the mobile app itself. So this is customized per user. This will look different for every tenant based on the way they're using the application. So I can jump in here and I can reorder things like my lunch or my smoothie or my gym time. All of this is unique to me. So when I single tap reorder my latte, I'm going to get it just the way I like it with a large with oat milk, and that'll be waiting for me at the cafe when I arrive. Then you're going to see a list of popular content at the bottom here. This is starting to do a little bit of product and service discovery. So I'm going to get to see what my fellow tenants are booking and what they're enjoying with the asset. So I'm starting to learn more about on-site retailers and services through my fellow tenants as well. Jumping really quickly into the store section, you're going to see here, this is where we can start supercharging on-site retailers and nearby vendors and really utilizing what's hyper-local to your asset to start driving convenience for your users. So you can jump in here and I can select my morning coffee. I can pick from an on-site vendor or nearby vendors. I can also come in here and order services like dry cleaning or my lunch for the day. Again, the system's going to remember my orders and my preferences so that it can surface those to me later. I can come in here, order my salad just the way I like it. You're going to see all the options from the vendor. We've built a vendor management system from the back end to make it really easy for your on-site retailers to manage their catalog of goods and services. Taking a quick look at building services, we're going to scroll through here and you're going to see all of the ways that we can optimize the building experience for both the tenant and the property management team. So we're streamlining operations by providing tenants things like locker room bookings, access to the secure bike room, options to book their arrival to the building or an amenity, which is really timely during COVID, of course. So jumping in here to the fitness center, I can see I can book my gym time. I can order my weekly or monthly gym pass, and that is going to be based, I can add my own credit card in here. That will be recurred billed. So that's going to take a lot of the lift out of the operational team of manually charging tenants for any kind of paid amenities or services on site. I can come in here and I can register a visitor for the gym. I can book a private studio if I'm going to work out by myself or with a trainer. And then I can book a gym time as well. So we have the ability to not only do subscriptions or products, but we can also book specific times. So I can book my daily yoga session at the time when the class is and get my spot on that class in that day. So really easy to operationalize a lot of the things in the building through the platform as well. Finally, you're going to have access to all of your building information here within the building info tab. Again, this is going to be customized and it's going to feature those integrations that Rich mentioned that are unique to the building. So I can come in here and log those maintenance requests. I can get key information about things within the building, whether it's operational or amenities or services. So I can see deliveries, I can see how do I gain building access, register a guest, parking information. All of this information is going to be at your tenant's fingertips, which really makes moving throughout the building and their entire building experience really seamless and convenient. So scrolling through here, you can see we have the ability to totally customize this section, again, based on the asset. So the experience that your tenants have with the platform is going to be unique to your building. Finally, we have access control integrated into the app, which is based on digital key card access. I'm going to jump over into the desktop app really quickly here. And now we're going to take a look at what this all looks like on desktop. As Rich mentioned, desktop is a key component when you're talking about tenant experience platforms. Typically, we see about 50-50 usage between mobile and desktop. It depends on where a tenant is in their day. If they're sitting at their desk at work, they're typically on the desktop version. If they get an email and they're sitting at their desk, they'll pop right onto the desktop. Or if they're moving about the building, they'll want the mobile app in their pocket. So having both is a really key experience for tenants to make it extremely convenient to access the information and services they need wherever they are. So when you first log into the desktop platform, you're going to see it's fully custom branded, and again, very modular based on the asset. All of the top level navigation is customized. All of the color schemes and branding will be unique to your building. We have additional modules. So at the center of this, you're going to be able to see at a glance as a tenant what you need to know that day and that week to move about the building. So this is going to give me access to news and events and any updates that I need right here on my home screen. Then I can jump in here, and we are able to collect a lot of really actionable data for both landlords and property management teams to make smarter decisions about their assets and to also help inform leasing strategies. So you can see the polls structure right here is one way we can do that. I can jump in as a tenant and provide really key data, like when I might return to the office to the building. I click submit, and that's going to provide real-time feedback to the property management team and to the landlord about what their tenants are thinking, feeling, and giving them unprecedented level of access to tenant feedback. So you can see here it's about a 50-50 split between they're already back and they're next year sometime within this particular asset. Jumping through a few of the platforms just to see what some of the different white labeling looks like. Here's Frostbank Tower. We've actually, as part of our Engage strategy for this building, turned the portal pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So a lot of flexibility around the look and feel of this platform. We have uniquely an activity feed over here on the right-hand side, which is going to allow users to interact with both each other and the property management team directly to ask questions and create online community. So I can come in here and I can post a comment right back on a fellow tenant's post here. And that threaded comment is going to put a notification right in Christy H's inbox. So I can start creating that virtual tenant experience as well as the on-site tenant experience. Moving forward, all the same functionality you saw on app is also going to exist within desktop. So any of the events that you saw within the app, you'll also be able to jump in. As part of our Engage services, again, this is a major differentiator for us. We've been creating content and experiences on platforms like this for the last 9 years. Within the last 6 months, of course, we pivoted to fully virtual programming to help during this COVID period, all of our clients continue to engage their tenants and keep in contact with them so they can continue to gather data. So all of this is virtual programming that's actually live through our partner network. That includes live streaming guitar classes, fitness classes, anything that's happening, whether it's virtual or on-site, will be available at your tenant's fingertips through the events section here. Again, very modular, so we can promote any of the amenities or services on site and start activating those and getting your tenants using those amenities. Oftentimes what we see when we launch an asset for the first time is tenants are often unaware of what amenities are available to them. We've seen this time and time again through tenant feedback that they may not even be aware that you have a fitness facility on site or what it takes to join it or utilize it. So the ability to really modularize both the desktop and the mobile app to highlight your unique amenities and nearby experiences within the platform is key to really driving forward that value proposition that is your building's unique value proposition. So here at Nomad Tower, it's a building in New York. They have a beautiful amenity suite, which they renovated and launched as part of the platform. So really raising awareness and usage around their gym, their amphitheater, and all of their amenities there, particularly their conferencing center. So they've also, as part of their launch, added in our space bookings module, which allows you to book any flexible space within the building. This could be a conference room, this could be an amenities floor, this could be a terrace, anything that your tenant would like to book. They can come into this platform and search by day or see the inventory of all the different flexible spaces you have available. At Nomad Tower, they have a few great conference rooms and an amphitheater available for tenants. The system's completely flexible, so you can build different tenants, different rates for different amounts of time. So it really allows you to provide a unique experience to different tenants within your building. I can jump in here and I can see the room's availability, my unique rate as a tenant of Equiam. And then I can jump in here and select all the date and time information that I have around my booking or contact the host directly. When I go to make my booking, because this is tied into our e-commerce system, you're actually also going to be able to add things like catering or coffee service to your order, and all of that will be billed all directly to the credit card stored securely within your profile. So a very robust front end. Jumping quickly into the back end system, we've built all of our back end from the ground up, no off the shelf solutions. And the reason we did that is because it provides us unparalleled access to tenant data. And it also makes the user experience for whoever's managing the platform very, very simple and easy because it's built specifically for tenant experience. So this is our back end content management system where all the content is published to both the desktop and the app platform. You can see we have tons of content within our content library here as part of our Engage services, which is a unique differentiator for us. You're actually going to get access to hundreds of templates that which makes this platform really engaging for your tenants without having to have an on-site marketer or community manager or somebody who's really adept at writing content within your staff, because we've done all of the content creation for you, and we're providing unique templates to your on-site teams to make it very easy to manage a platform like this without a lot of lift. So I can jump in here as a on-site team member, and if I wanted to promote my fitness center, I could type in fitness, and you're going to see a full list of all of our fitness center templates that pop right up. We, as part of our Engage services, will partner with your on-site team, as we mentioned earlier, to look at the data, look at the tenant feedback, and really program out both the content and on-site experiences for your unique asset to really start optimizing the way you're spending your money on that specific tenant experience. We also have the ability to create newsletters and notifications, both SMS and email, through this same system. It's very simple for an on-site team member to come in here and create either communication, which can be segmented down to any audience level you'd like. So if you'd like an email newsletter to just go out to your key tenant contacts, that's possible. Or you could send an email notification just to a specific area of your building, or a level, a floor, a company. All the communications can be segmented down so that each tenant within the building is getting a unique experience and the content that's directly related to what they need. Jumping really quickly into the back end of our store system, this is the VMS system. This is what your on-site retailers will gain access to, which allows them to transact directly with your tenants, providing them a unique experience for your tenants, and also a unique data on the things that are happening within the platform. So if you're an on-site cafe, you can come in here and you can process all your orders. You can see the order I just placed. I can accept that order. I can adjust it, and I have full control as a vendor or on-site retailer to change and edit my own catalog. So I can come in here and change all the things that I have available within my catalog. So if this is an on-site cafe, they can change their foods and beverages. Same goes for dry cleaning or any service providers, whether they're on-site or nearby. So you're going to create a really unique marketplace for your tenants that provides a new level of convenience, but also you're supercharging your retailers and providing unique access to the tenants in a way they didn't have before. I can jump in here and edit any specific products as well, which is a great feature of the platform. Jumping into our smart technology, we have, as Rich mentioned, integrations with a company called Metricus out of the UK. So we've integrated their IoT and product sensors into our platform. So you're going to be able to see really unique sensor data around everything that's happening in your building. So this is a quick view of what's happening on a particular floor. As an individual tenant, I can see who's sitting in what desks, when the last time somebody sat in a desk was, and I can also see conference room utilization and things like air quality, all directed through a wide variety of sensors, which is very flexible based on the sensor technology utilized in your building or that you're looking to use. So that ties into a unique dashboard as well, which can be externally facing and also give you unique insights as the landlord into things like occupancy within your building within any given hour or day. You're also going to be able to provide things like air quality to your tenants directly. So this could be air quality and how it influences productivity and cognitive performance based on some really interesting algorithms that are in the back end of this technology. So unique dashboards and insights for both you and also great data and insights for your tenants as well. Finally, the piece that really makes it all run is, and what really drives decision making and can really influence things like leasing is going to be our data and our insights, which are really unparalleled. We have data insights through our dashboards, which we call Cortex. And at a high level, you're going to be able to see things like usage over time. You're going to be able to see active usage. So we're always focused on keeping your tenants with using the platform and driving value for them through the platform. So you're going to understand at a high level at any time, day to day, how the platform is performing and how that specific asset is performing. You're going to have information on things like engagement metrics, And then you're going to get into interesting data around how the platform is being used by each tenant within the building, which can be key insights when it comes to leasing decisions or time to have those conversations with your tenants around how they're particularly using or what value they're getting out of your particular asset. So you can start drilling down into the different tenants within your building and how they're leveraging the platform. And then as you jump deeper into the data, whether you're looking at events or contests or newsletters or just the service revenue, the e-commerce revenue that's being driven through your platform, you can drill down on any of these things to better understand how they're performing at a site level, and then also how each tenant within your building is leveraging that particular service or amenity. So jumping into the e-commerce side, you're actually going to be able to track things like orders and orders placed over time. There's actual live data that you can see in the back end daily or weekly, and you can drill down or up to see as much of it as you'd like. It's a very flexible dashboard, which we've built in collaboration with our clients. So you can see at this particular asset, we drove 163K in total revenue through the platform in 2019. And then you're going to be able to drill down on things like service revenue by vendors. So you can see how your on-site retailers are performing, who's driving the most orders and spend. You can see how your spaces are performing. So how often your spaces are being booked out among those flexible spaces. And then again, you can drill down into what's happening at a deeper level. So you can understand what products are being ordered by your tenants, whether it's a latte or dry cleaning. And then your on-site retailers will have access to this data as well to help optimize what they're doing and the products and services they're offering. So they can understand that for example, Bon Pan, the latte may be selling really, really well. So they'll have information like that readily available at their fingertips to help make decisions. And then when you, again, get into a tenant level, you're going to be able to drill down on any of this data to understand which tenants in your building are attending events, which ones are utilizing your on-site cafe, which ones are really driving value from your on-site spaces or conference rooms. So when it comes time to have those leasing conversations, you know exactly how all of the employees within a particular company are utilizing both your physical amenities and also your virtual ones. So you can see we have spend by company here. EY is spending the most within the store. They're getting a lot of value from that on-site cafe. Yelp is the second most spent within this particular building. They happen to be getting a lot of value out of the on-site dry cleaning. So that's an amenity or service that they likely wouldn't want to live without. So again, really actionable data, which we're going to look at with you month by month as part of our engaged services to help you optimize both the content and programming within the platform and on-site. So we can really help drive leasing retention at your particular asset. So with that said, that is a quick high-level fly-through of the Equiam platform, and we can open it up to any questions if there are any with our remaining 4 minutes.
Yeah, Richard's starting to answer some of them in the Q&A, so keep them coming, and I've got a couple coming in from the chat. I'll start there. You mentioned some clients have whole portfolios. How scalable is the platform for landlords?
Yeah, great question, Bethany. Look, it's really scalable. I think our largest is 37 buildings. That's an Australian client that we launched with, many years ago. In the US, we launched. There's a group, Unico Properties, out of Seattle. Owner, operator, owner, manager as well. We launched 3 buildings with Unico in 2019, and we're now up to 15 buildings with them now in 5 different cities. Our offices are in New York and Los Angeles, and yet we're able to launch into all new regions. So we're in 13 or 14 cities now, I think, 5 of those with Unico alone, and they're budgeting for a whole swagger of more buildings for next year. And then there are several other groups. We've got a whole of portfolio deal with a Manhattan landlord, Adams and Company, 14 buildings with them in New York City. So, and particularly as we've carved up the tech and started to make it really modular for different asset classes, and even across the portfolio, you might have some Class A prime grade buildings, and then something in more of a B2C class, or it might be more of a suburban office campus. We've really tried to make the product suite and all the deliverables really asset by asset specific. So that makes it more scalable. And obviously there are some pricing efficiencies with that as well. But we're seeing, every single one of the landlords that we've launched with in the US in the last 3 years, and that's 15 different groups now, are launching more and more buildings with us. Not one of them has held at one. So I think what happens is it's a long decision-making process. It's a very busy marketplace, and there's a lot of considerations. And once the rubber hits the road, so to speak, and we've launched a building, you know, I think Spencer was showing 225 West Wacker, which is a new Spear Street owned asset. You know, we've done buildings with Spear Street in the UK, in Ireland, in Philadelphia, and some others are now in Chicago. So it is a really scalable model. I think it takes a lot of landlords time to sort of boil it down to, you know, who's our preferred provider, where's the value being added, and how scalable is this across our portfolio.
We have time for one question. It's a big question, but I think it's an important one. What differentiates you guys?
Yeah, I love that question. Spencer actually touched on a lot of this, and to the extent that we could do that in a very short window of time. But what we have seen time and time again, particularly now that the marketplace has matured a lot, is it's really about that ongoing engagement. So good technology is one thing, and we've got a beautiful platform. But what we've known for year on year is that without that sophisticated engagement model that we've got with a huge team, we've got over 220 staff, that we see a major drop off after launch. So what we're starting to see in market is a lot of people coming back to us saying, right, we really need that ongoing engagement, because that's what's creating the ongoing usage time and time again. And we monitor monthly active usage across the platform. The other thing is, the content management system that we've built, and the vendor management system, and the data and analytics platform, all of those we've built over, we've slaved over for several years in commercial real estate. So they're all purpose built for the sector, and they all talk to one another. So the data points, the amount of data that we're able to get for our tenants, because we've built all this specifically for real estate, there's nothing off the shelf. That's where we're really seeing a major differentiator for Equiem, is in that ongoing engagement and the richness of the information that we can provide back to our landlords to add value in how they manage their buildings.
Nicely done. Thanks, gentlemen, so much. You guys, questions we didn't get to, please reach out to Richard and Spencer directly. And we've